Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, home of the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. Congratulations to them for making the championship game. As said in the chat, it will be played upon a week from tonight in the prime time. Alrighty, this is the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, and this is Coach Steve Money. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and if you would like to see my other financial content, it's just you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. You scroll past the Elk Island playlist, and you'll see the Ramsey Show Aftershow show playlist. Today is number 457. 357, 457, whatever it takes, and answering your financial questions stream and playlist, and that is 137 in there, and 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. Please listen to those. What up, Sid? Market report. Where is it? I have it here handy. So we're down again today. Just checking our pals in crypto again. It got up to 102,000 there. Now back down to 94. Just because somebody came in and was asking about it. Or trying to get you to buy it, so that their stake in it goes higher. Oh, so that's not bad. Okay, I thought it was down. I didn't refresh. So overall, it's up today. So great. That's fabulous. Nasdaq down though, probably because of, I think I have a article on that. So we'll get into that in just a second. Let's see what the rest of the planet is like. Europe all down, Asia all down. Currencies, US dollar up over the euro, down to the Japanese yen, down to the British pound low, down to the Canadian dollar, and also down to the Australian dollar, mate. We wanted to be higher, but Australian said nay. They're not allowing it, so there you go. But, with the mostly up market, even though it's by a little bit, what is that, 86, that's 1.02% and 1.26% then, and so like about 0.9% if you average all of these together, about up just under a percentage point. And so you gotta take that, and that's not bad either, because when you figure you're looking for at least 10% every year, and so 1% is a tenth of what you're looking for the entire year. So always a good sign to think of it like that. Good way to think about it. And of course, the last 2 years, like I said in the Ramsey Show chat, if your funds didn't make 20% in each of the last 2 years, in which the S&P 500 in the last year made 22%, and the NASDAQ even more than that, 27%, and my managed large cap funds made more than that even. And so you might have bad investments. Some to look out for, which they try to automatically stick people in and they don't need to be in it, is target date fund, and that's more conservative. And especially the younger you are, you shouldn't be conservative. You should be trying to get that money, trying to secure the bag, yo. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got some earnings finally coming up on Wednesday. Chase, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and on Thursday, Bank of America and United Health Group. And this is what I'm going to talk about. The NVIDIA stock falls, and we'll Let's talk about why it fell. See if anything else. Hanging out at Starbucks, you now need to order something. Oh, then I got to just let you hang there anymore. I wonder why. I wonder why all of a sudden they're changing that now, when they weren't worried about it beforehand. Is DEI dying? Man, I hope so. Here's a list of companies that have rolled back the woke policies. Yeah, you don't have to have that to impress the current administration anymore. You don't have to do that. How about we hire the best people instead of trying to check boxes? How about we do that instead? Hire the best people in your company. Third, Elon Musk reveals third person received Neuralink brain chip implant as rival companies pose challenge. All right. I mean, my name is Paul, and that's between y'all. I wouldn't sign up for that. But also, I wonder if there's a test you have to take before that. Where at least they would get a baseline on something and figure out how smart you are, or if any of that matters at all. Kohl's closing 27 stores in 15 states. I don't know if that includes any Ohio. I would assume not, though. I would assume they're all doing okay here. And New York Times put out a frugal travel calendar for the year ahead. Here's the best way to be frugal. Don't go anywhere. Especially if you're on baby steps 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be a no on travel. Let's see what we got in the news then. Oh, so fun stuff first, I guess. This I found out, where is it? In my Val pack from last week. Finally opened it today, and I got a Playa Bowls, Playa. Bowls is the actual business name. I don't know if that's the generic for these or not, but basically it's like $10 to $15 for a bowl of mostly fruits. Like this one has pineapple and coconut in there. I think berries or grapes of some type in there, and this one has whipped cream probably too, maybe. And this one looks like chocolate drizzled on it. Are those big strawberries? All right, and so those are big strawberries, dog. Look how big those are. So you hear $10 to $15, and so I had to check it out because I'm thinking if that's a parfait cup size, that is just ridiculous. This is not New York City, so you shouldn't be charging that kind of stuff there. But I mean, that's not bad, I guess. And especially with as good as those look, I'm sure they used great ones for this story. But I mean, that looks really good, and it's not that small. Definitely not advised for those of us with the beatus. I mean, maybe you cut that into 4 different eating times, maybe 4 different days, maybe if the fruit will hold up and be that good and for that long. I don't know if they have tops either. They should have tops so you can close that bad boy and put it in the fridge. But pretty cool. Oh, let's see. And I don't know why that's there. Because is it here where I have? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Trying to mix myself up, not having the right things next to each other. But I mean, they have stuff like this kind of like grocery stores. You can get kind of the same thing, but they're not made to order like this, and they don't have all of these different combinations. The Nutella is Nutaloco coconut bowl. What does that have in there? Coconut blend, coconut, banana, and I'm assuming and Nutella on top of it. And different avalanche coconut bowl, and just different mixes and so forth. The shakes are like 550, and I mean that's going to be in line or maybe even a little bit cheaper than Starbucks. So, I mean, this is not the kind of thing that I would like go after maybe for a special vacation, a special occasion, something like that. And yeah, we do have one here in Columbus on the North High Street. And that would be fairly close to the Ohio State University, which I'm sure the kids would love to go there and get some of this stuff. But you heard of that, Sid? Oh, Sid's for real. Here for real now. She was driving. Good. She knows I like to get her to weigh in. Yeah. So have you heard of pliable before? Is that like a generic term and they just used it for their business name? And have you seen like fruit bowls like this that let you like customize it and such? Now it says they have different kinds. I wonder if they would let you, and they'd be dumb not to, right? To let you pick your own stuff in there, like a la Chipotle. And they just, the different things have different prices to them. Like coconut, might cost more than strawberry. I don't know the going fruit prices though, so I couldn't tell about that. So we'll see if Sid can weigh into that. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued, and it really looks really, really good. I mean, I got a magazine cover one time had from, oh no, it was a catalog from, oh, I can't remember. It's somebody and somebody. They're like major fruit sellers, and these pears that were on there, it looked like they came straight from heaven. It did. I can't remember the name of it, but it's some guy's name and some guy's name. I think they're last names, and they sell fruit. To continue, Smoothie King has them now. That's right. That's right. Super trendy, she says. Yep, that's right. Smoothie King is something else that I saw there, but I was trying to look for the best representation of the size of the bowl, and that's who I I looked for that, and that ended up being the same company that is on my thing. And what does this do? This see, I wouldn't get up there. $3 off, order $15 or more. $5 off, order $30 or more. Obviously, again, don't need it. Don't need the sugar. But it does look really good. And look at that one more time. Those are fabulously colored strawberries right there, and that all looks good. So I could just have both of those for one meal, and then I wouldn't be around anymore after that. You people wouldn't have to worry about me. Alrighty. Yahoo Finance. Nvidia stock falls after Biden administration releases updated export rule for AI chips. And basically they trying to not have, it's like, let's hurry up and get some new laws on the books and new things, new executive orders, last minute pardons. Let's go ahead and do all of that. And Nvidia fell as much as 3%. What did it end up being? So not that bad. It came back somewhat, but so to close at almost 2% down today. But controlling the flow of artificial intelligence chips to adversaries such as China. Okay. That can be ordered by most countries without a special license at 50,000, but smaller orders would not be count toward the export cap. But some 18 U.S. allies, including UK, Netherlands, Taiwan, will face no restrictions. Okay, so if you're gonna do that, you don't think the other people can have an American citizen buy the extra for them? You don't think they're gonna get it? I mean, that's the same way you think bad people aren't going to get guns. You're going to be able to keep guns from the bad people. They will find a way to get them. Especially if you make them illegal, guess what? The criminals will still have them. In addition to NVIDIA's advanced chips sold through resellers, and NVIDIA makes specific versions of chips that comply with current U.S. trade restrictions on China. Okay. Hopper chips, named for Chief Hopper from Stranger Things. That'll be season 5, final season, will be on later this year. So I think that's all I got to say about this. Oh, companies have a longer than typical 120-day period to provide commentary on the restrictions. Well, that's going to go into the Trump administration, then. Oh, giving the Trump administration time to make changes to the rule. Great. Fabulous. Okay. So basically, NVIDIA put out a statement that says that's bullcrap. Don't do that. And of course, you wouldn't want there to be anything done by a governmental agency or administration that makes your stock go down. You wouldn't want that to happen. Well, there was something here. There it is. Talking to Sid about this earlier today. What up, Simply? Simply just hopping on to say hey, and then now she's side hustling. Every day she's hustling. Catching in some freebies. What kind of freebies, Sid? Trying new recipes. That's fun. Tell us all about that. If she was co-host, that's what the kind of thing that I would tell her to talk about. I would ask her about, hey, tell us about that. From the Wall Street Journal here, what's the name of the name of the article is, I'm going to plot your demise for my entire workout. That's in quotes. And then gym rats can't wait for you to quit your resolution. So basically, they don't like the newbies coming in there when they've been in the gym all year, and then now you got more people in there. It's crowded. They are already on the treadmill. The treadmills are full. Your favorite locker is taken, it says. You have to wait in line for the shower. Set of his gym in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, here we go. I don't know if I can do the New York accent. Listen, I respect your New Year's resolution, but I'll be impressed if you're still showing up in February. Okay. Oh, that wasn't that good. But, okay. I mean, and some people will. Probably most people will not. And then you got your gym back. So, problems are, everybody has different problems. And it also, I did skim over this. Another problem they said is, instead of running on the treadmill and such, and being done with it, they're like posing with it and stuff like that. They're doing things like that isn't working out, but is still making them wait longer. And so, I get it. But just interesting. I thought anyway. Also studyfinds here.com, right? Is it? Studyfinds.com, yes. A third of Americans say their partner acts like a baby when they're sick. I don't think I really do that. I just hit the NyQuil and just try to sleep it off. And just stay in bed. I'm not really a problem for anybody ever, I don't think. Average adult feels healthy just 16 days a month during the winter, survey shows. I don't know what that's related to. I don't know. I'm old and I don't feel that bad. My goodness. Study which surveyed 2,000 Americans, including 951 cohabitating partners. Okay, so you got a lot of that going on. What did it say? Unexpected manifestations of being under the weather. Nearly 1/3 of responders reported mixing up days of the week. All right. Well, 21, and do they mix up days of the week when they're not sick too? Maybe that's what you got. That's the problem with, you don't have much of a control group here. And you don't have much of a track record, a baseline, basically. 21% found themselves getting into arguments with loved ones again. Do they do that when they're not under the weather too? In more unusual cases, 14% admitted to placing objects in strange locations, such as keys in the refrigerator. Okay, I'm going to have you take a nap until you don't put your keys in the refrigerator anymore. I mean, unless you've done that since, birth, and then you won't lose them. But otherwise, if you've done that just because you're sick, I'm going to keep an eye on you. And maybe we'll have to take you into the shop for some diagnostic work. What else here we go. 18 odd behavior survey say shoes in the refrigerator. Can't remember their own name. My goodness. I've never been that sick. I mean, I was sick for 3 days, got food poisoning, eating what did my ex-wife and I have? We were on a road trip, coming back home from a road trip, and we got some McDonald's. This was back in the day, pre-Pandy. You kids remember that? And this McDonald's was open 24 hours, and we went by there and got burgers. And of course, next day or so, didn't have something like that. We both had the food poisoning, and so that was pretty bad. But I don't think I did any, stuff like related to this. Forget to make coffee. Well, and again, how often would you do this when you're not sick? I'll put on 2 different high heels. I always put on the same color high heels, so I never have that problem. Forget to pick up kids from school. Okay, no, I have never done that. Drove with pizza on roof of the car. All right. I mean, that's like in any 80s movie. That happened a lot in there. Leave groceries on the bus. Forget why they left the house. Go to work on a day off. All right. Forget an important doctor's appointment. No. Forgot wallet, purse with ID at home. No. I've forgotten wallet a few times, and mainly that was because I generally would leave it in a pair of jeans because I don't call jeans dirty after one day. I at least wear them 2 days, and then if I wear if I wear shorts instead of jeans, then I might not have it with me and think it's with me. But I've only done that like once or twice. Accidentally threw phone away with trash. Beep, beep, boo doo. No sugar challenge. That's a good idea for some of us. Talk about the methodology or something like that. Okay, but I just thought that was interesting. Things that people do. And again, the arguments and stuff like that. I would think you probably are more prone to getting into arguments even when you're not sick as well. Let's get to questions. Let's see what my co-host Sid has to say about things. Freebies are the free baby boxes from various retailers like Target, Walmart, and Amazon. Okay, I figured you were talking about something like from App Rewards or something like that kind of thing. Like my most recent one was a free Chick-fil-A sandwich, and boy was it yummy. And what they want you to do, so you see, what they want you to do is you go there and get the free Chick-fil-A sandwich, but of course you got to have fries with it and a drink. So I don't do that. I get the free sandwich and I don't buy anything else. Now, every so often I will get a fry as well on something like that, but most of the time I don't. I just take the free thing. Yeah. All right. Didn't finish with it. That's only one of the questions that I asked her. Is that a third of American women? Man flu is a thing for a reason. I got you. All of Sid's heels are black, so a mismatch isn't the worst thing. Fair enough. That's good. That's why I think it was Albert Einstein, I think, had all the same outfit. Is that chick chugging olive oil? I missed it. Which one here? On the health thing? Yeah, I don't see that one. They're just both sneezing there. That I don't know if that's. I mean, you got the red noses there, so maybe that's an actual sick couple. Maybe they took that for their gram. All right, let's see. This is Help Me Grow 56. Oh, did I get to the bottom? I got to the bottom. Steve Jobs did a black turtleneck and jeans, right? Sid used to do a lot of the free app stuff, but it got nearly impossible to earn enough points for even a cheap reward in under a month. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hardly ever go to Chick-fil-A, but just every so often there'll be something free in there. Because they want you to go to there and they, and most people will spend more money. That's the main problem with fast food. You can go, like today, I happened to drive right by the Sonic because I had to take something to the post office that I sold on eBay. And then on the way back, I stopped at the store to see if they had anything on clearance. And they did not. The Sonic is right there. So I got a $1.99 cheeseburger, quarter pound cheeseburger, and you can customize it. And so I add most of the free things. I get onions, extra lettuce, extra pickles on it as well. And I don't buy anything else with it. No drink. They're hoping you're going to buy something else with it for sure. But I don't do that. But yeah, there was, what was it? It was on the, I think we saw something about mildly, somebody might have posted like the mildly infuriating subreddit, which I went to that. It looked like it was like closed. It was like shut down for some reason or another. I don't remember what the note on it said, but what was that? Oh yeah, the McDonald's combo meal was $12 or $15 or something like that. Yeah, don't get that. Get a $2 burger and take your butt home and drink your drink from home. And you probably don't need the fries if you have a burger from a fast food place. You know what I'm saying? And why would you do that at McDonald's when for cheaper than that, you can get a freaking Raisin Cane's combo meal for $10. My goodness, people. Anyway, maybe you don't have, maybe, everywhere doesn't have a Raisin Cane's, and they do have McDonald's. Oh, where were we at? Oh, how safe are companies offering online only CDs if the company name is totally unheard of. Well, you can stick with somebody you've heard of. Also, hey, guess what? By the way, guess what? Mr. Ramsey does not advise CDs. I mean, I get it if the rate maybe is better than you can get in a high yield savings account, but what CDs is your money's locked up for X number of months. So that's generally a nay on that. But as far as the company name, go with the company name you've heard of. Let's say I'm looking to invest in a CD for 6 to 12 month term. Yeah, and why? What's the rate going to be that's going to be the high yield savings account? And trying to find the highest yield, the highest earnings appear to be online only companies offering CDs. That's right. That's right, because they don't have the overhead of people of needing a storefront. Correct. I'm a little nervous investing in a company. I mean, that you've heard of, then that's fine. Somebody posted on there, what was it, last week? That it was something, they mentioned like that they had money in this bank, but through, like, and mentioned 2 other companies involved there, and then surprised that both the bank and the company went bankrupt. And it said they were FDIC insured, but the bank said no, that money's gone, sorry. So I don't know if that was like an investment in the company itself, or if that was just a savings, or just like market investment, or if it was just maybe it was an investment in that particular bank or that particular company. I don't know. Let's see. Should I be? They all appear to be FDIC insured. Now you can double check that as well, because just because they have the FDIC sticker, I could put that on any of my graphics as well. I could do that. So you want to make 100% sure of that. So I'm getting a higher interest rate than at Bank of America or Wells Fargo. Or Chase, simply because of the unfamiliarity. Yeah. I mean, and that makes sense that would be a way to get customers away from the banks you heard of. If you're nervous about it, don't do that. And you don't do a CD at all. Just do a high yield savings account. It's not giving you that much more. At least not lately. I don't think so. As far as I know from the CD rates. In other words, do I need to overcome these fears because these companies are ultimately safe and I'll get my money back out with the quoted interest and earnings at the terms of the CD term, at the term of the CD term? Do I need to overcome these fears? No, because it doesn't make that much a difference. It's not going to be that much. I mean, if it's a 0.5% more or even 1% more, that's not that much. If you'll sleep better at night doing it at a bank you heard of, do it at a bank you heard of. But again, Mr. Ramsey would not advise a CD. Junk gossip. Should I pay off the mortgage? The answer is yes. And when should you pay off the mortgage? That means you have steps 1 through 5 done completely. You'd be working on 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, if 5 is applicable. If not, you can skip it. Or if you don't want to help your kids with college, you can skip it. If you want them to fend for their own, earn their own keep, that's fine. So let's see, I have 150. Okay, maybe it's a specific situation of shitty. I have 150K left on my mortgage and 300K cash in hand. Okay, then probably yes, because you are debt leveraging to keep cash liquid on hand. You're keeping the mortgage around to have cash on hand. That's debt leveraging. Mr. Ramsey does not advise that. Should I put it in fixed deposit or pay off my mortgage with 4.9 interest rate? The interest rate doesn't affect the answer, and people love to put that there for some reason, because they think it does. Let's see, or open to any other less risky investment. Yeah, my less risky investment, which is the least risk, you can take it all, would be to pay off your mortgage. Zero foreclosures happen on a mortgage that doesn't exist anymore. And then you own it all. And then that also helps in retirement where you don't have a mortgage payment or a rent payment during retirement. So yeah, that's it. Baby steps in order as always. And this is always the thing. You do not, and here's, you doing it wrong. If you're trying to follow Dave's advice, you wouldn't have 300K in cash on hand at any time. The only liquid stuff you would have would be your 3 to 6 months of expenses, any sinking fund for known upcoming expenses. Other than that, you don't have any other savings around on top of that until you are on step 7, meaning the mortgage is paid off already. So you're doing it wrong. So the answer is yes, pay off the mortgage. It didn't say the name of the bank. Bite Crust. It did not. He did not mention the name of the bank on there. What up, Tanya? Let's see what else. So it says impulse fast food for her is always value menu. Yep, it's called a lost leader. Right. They give you something and they hope you'll buy it. Buy some extra things to go with it, fries and a drink, and most people will. So they're doing fine. They're just not getting that from me. If you get a soda alone, they got you. Right. Soda is the way that they make the money. Drinks are how they make the money there at the restaurant, for sure. Same with theaters as well. Boom. Sid says it's like 50 cents for a 32-ounce soda with the cup, but they charge you $3+ for it. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it was $3.99. Yeah, $3.99. The last 2 restaurants, Mexican restaurants, my son and I tried out. Yeah, $3.99 for the pap, as they call it here in the Midwest. Love yourself more than McDonald's is Sid's advice, and that's good advice. Right, Tanya, I remember that. Misty Bikini, or Mist Bikini. Make sure the bank is FDIC insured. And again, if you've never heard of the company before, do a little bit more digging. Because again, I could copy and paste. I've done some collage work myself, so I could do that. Oh, what was that from? Oh, goodness gracious me. David Spade and Jeremy Piven. What was that? What was that movie? Oh, goodness. PCU. Politically Correct University. Yeah. Yeah, one of the guys said, I've done some collage work myself. So yeah, I could have that as my logo even. I could put that on my logo, and so anybody could put it on their fake website if so. So definitely check out that stuff. Mental potato, and by the question that's explained there why you would be a mental potato. 8913. Should I take out a personal loan to buy a used car? Well, let's see. No, it's not on here, so I guess we can't ding the person there as far as if the person read the baby steps and think that taking out a new loan would be okay. But part of baby step 0 is you decide you're going to pay off your dumb debt and you're never going to take out any more dumb debt. So that would be a nay. So, and the only way that you would do that is if you have a more expensive car that you are still paying on. If you need to borrow a little bit of money to pay what you're upside down on it, plus 2 or 3K, something like that, cheap as you can get, used car, then you would do that, but you're still decreasing your debt amount. And so that's the only time that would be advised. But in this situation, you figure out something else. Let's see what the story is here. The post was inspired by a previous user previously on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. In this thread a few days ago, here's my situation. New adult, congratulations. I'm an old adult with little to no guidance financially. I have that, fortunately. Recently lost my car due to unforeseen reasons. Total loss. So vague. So vague there. I like it. I love it when they're so vague. You get those callers too on that call to the Ramsey show, and they're they're asked a direct question and then they're like so vague with the answer. Let's see. I recently test drove a car. Yeah, don't go do that. So the best way to not take out a loan for a car is to not go test drive one at a dealership. Don't do that. And ask if they were willing to work with me even if I didn't have a down payment. And the dealer stated that it would most likely be declined due to me being a first-time buyer. Okay, it's a cheap car that runs well, but all I need is something that runs. And I don't mind fixing it up now and then as long as I have a cheap monthly payment. Yeah, we don't know, unfortunately, in advance how long the cheap car we buy is going to work, but it's still a better deal overall than going into debt for a new car. As the economy is, definitely bring the economy into it. No, your finances are just bad, regardless of the economy. And my personal expenses, it's hard for me to save enough money. Are the personal expenses, is that all 100% necessary? Usually not. Usually there's stuff you can cut. It's hard for me to save enough money for a down payment, let alone pay cash when I need a car to get around ASAP. Now, I'm sure you could go to somewhere in your city and get a car with zero down, and you're going to pay a lot of interest on that as well and overpay for the car as well. So, I mean, that's just like a payday loan, car loan style. Auto dealership. And that's generally your dealerships that their office is like a trailer that's parked in the parking lot, and the rest of it's just parking lot with cars in it. I mean, it's fine to buy something from there if they have a decent price, but you give them cashish on the barrelhead. Is it worth? And I need a car to get around ASAP, okay? If you don't need it to go to work or school, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you'll just stay home for a while you figure out how to save money to get a car. Let's see, and you get rides and stuff so far. What are you doing now without a car that was totaled? Because your car was totaled. What are you doing right now? Is it worthwhile to take out a loan to pay for the car in cash? If you're taking out a loan, you're not paying for the car in cash. Are you talking about from the bank, and so you don't have maybe as high of an interest rate? Okay, so I could see why you would think that would be better, but buying it just in actual cash that you have saved up is the advice here. Always. Or even just enough for the down payment, so I would have to make monthly payments for the down payment loan and the monthly payments for the deal. Or should I wait and save up for the car completely? There we go. You got to it eventually. Figured it out. Might have heard of Dave. He's the no debt guy. And the no debt guy is, okay, no, normally, so Dave's not ever going to say, now normally I would tell people no debt, but in your little situation, you're going to be the exception. People are never the exception, ever. And that's why the advice is so good, because it doesn't change. It's the same for every person. Whether you have negative net worth or whether you're triple millionaire. You do the same steps. Everybody does the same steps. I'm not quite sure how annual percentage rate works either. I've tried searching it up, but still don't understand. You don't need to because you shouldn't be taking out a loan. So don't do that. Let me know your feedback. Thank you. I did. You are welcome. Yeah, everybody thinks they're the exception for it because it's them. It's an ad made to look like it. Look how they're trying to get you. They're all trying to get you. Boom, 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 bow, 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 bow. Let's see what we got. Bike cuts of buying a $2,000 Craigslist car was the best financial decision I have made. Indeed. Did I get mine from there or cars.com? I can't remember. Can't remember which one. One of those. 4 years later, yep, I paid $1,750 for mine. It needed $250 of work, which I knew before I bought it. So $2,000 for me as well, and I'm probably going on 5 years now with mine, and it only had 80,000 miles on it too. How would you administrate that? Like write a check? Debit cards only go to 3K. You can get a limit increase on your debit card. Yeah, that's Sid said. You can call the bank and say you're buying a car. Yep. Go to physical location and get a cashier's check. Right, made out to the dealership. Yes. Can do either one. You can trade a vehicle. Too many crazies to sell privately. All right, you're not gonna get as much for the vehicle by involving the dealership. Dealership gonna take a bite, and so you're the one that gets to make that decision. But I personally would rather have more value. If you buy private sale, you're getting more value for your money. If you're buying, yeah, you're not, the dealer's not getting any money for the sale then extra. And then if you are selling, the buyer is getting more value because you're charging what you're charging and not more like the dealership would charge him for it. So it was better for both ways to leave the dealership out of it. Alone and a widow. You don't know any men's that can go with you? Maybe somebody from church, if you go to church, something like that, have a man's go with you. Or if you have a mechanic that's done work for you in the past, maybe they would take a look at it for you. You can have them take it to the mechanic. You can make the appointment and pay for the mechanic to check out the vehicle to make sure that it's all good. And that's what I did. And they do that sometimes for free to take a look at it in hopes of getting the work for it. And that's exactly what I did. And the person was that I bought it from was nice enough to take it there himself for me. And so he did that. The mechanic looked at it and said I needed a new tailpipe muffler. And so he said that'd be $250 if I do that for you. And so 2K was great, especially for a vehicle that had 80,000 miles on it. 2005 Suzuki Verona, my Verona. Kobayashi Midori. Okay, I don't know what that is. Kobayashi Maru is from Star Trek, and that is a scenario in which there's not a way to win, and basically it's like for military ranking, and so there's not a way to win. They just want to see how you handle the situation. But Captain Kirk likes to win, so he reprogrammed it so that he could win. Tanya loves cards. Yeah, I don't really care about them. I don't know much about them. That's why I had to. That's why I have to. I trust my repairman. CP, what up? How cold is it there, sir? We have a good 25-degree Fahrenheit here. It wasn't supposed to. We were supposed to have 30 days not being above freezing, but it did get a couple degrees above freezing in the past 2 or 3 days. For 2 days, it was above freezing, so a little bit warmer than it had been projected to. But I know when I talked about that before, about being not above freezing for a whole month, I said I'm sure CP's up in the Great White North up there saying hold my beer, because his temperature is way lower. Um, what were we? What did I say? Kobayashi Midori 319 is the user here. Should I use a credit card to pay monthly for HMO health insurance, or wait till I save up for the full amount? We're not doing credit cards anymore. If you're following the Ramsey advice, you're closing the card to new accounts. I mean, to new charges. You're not using it anymore. We don't do that. Let's see. Currently, only saved up around 1,700 for my emergency fund. Now I'm thinking to get health insurance that covers me and both my parents. It would cost 1,000 annually. Okay. Is it all right to use a credit card for that? No. So here's the dealio. Insurance is now you trying to cover your parents too. That's a different thing. Do they have money that you can get from them? I would do that if they have any money instead of you taking care of it all. Because, you sounds like you're just starting the baby steps, so you can't afford to be floating health coverage for them. But getting insurances in place is part of baby step 0, not on there, so can't blame you for not knowing that. That's in step 0, excuse me. That's part of step 0. It's one of the many, many, many things as part of step 0, but that is one of them, getting insurances in place. And so you would do that before the emergency fund. So yes, use the emergency fund to buy that. Also, so then this is in the baby steps, both in the Ramsey version of it, where it is, there it is. It says save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. And if you looked, I don't know, here on the subreddit here, it also says save $1,000 as fast as possible. I've only saved up around $1,700 for my emergency fund. Did it say, where does it say to save up another $700? I'm not seeing that there. I'm looking. Maybe I need to clean my glasses. I'm dedicating myself to the bit. The commitment to the bit. No, I don't see anywhere that it says save an extra $700. So you're doing it wrong, and I don't know why you're doing it wrong. You got the what would Dave do flair. Dave would ask you to take a gander, a quick peek at the baby steps, probably, before asking any questions. Now where were we at? Okay. So yeah, so you would drain all of it if you had to, but the $1,000 annually, yeah, you would take that out to get health insurance, and you would have $700 towards your $1,000 emergency fund, and you do not save other than $1,000. Everything extra past $1,000 that you have extra goes to pay off debt. Or, if you're very fortunate, you never took out any debt, you're just poor, and you can skip step 2. That is probably the best one to be able to skip. Is it all right to use a credit card for this so I can pay monthly instead? That's a no. Or just pay in full in one go. Pay in full in one go. I am not sure where health insurance are on the baby steps. Step 0. All right, but I would like to make sure I'm following them. Oh, really? All right. Well, I think numbers work the same way in the Philippines. So it says $1,000 there, and so why do you have 1,700? You doing it wrong. But some obviously some disconnect there. You know, it's like, I mean, it could be some situation where like the last you know, most people are younger than I am. So I'll call her a lass as opposed to a lad. Um, maybe she had that much saved up for emergencies anyway. She already had 1,700 when she started the baby steps, and that was very recently. And so maybe, and then it's like, you know, it doesn't occur to you to bounce that 700 to debt instead, or to anything else like the cost of the insurance here. So, and that's what Dave would do. Dave would follow the baby steps, and you are forgiven for not knowing baby step 0. You would have to look that one up or hear it on the Ramsey show or see one of his videos about it. I never checked to see if they have a video about that. And I, of course, still need to make mine. I have been working on it. I did start working on it two weekends ago. I did that, and I worked on it some this past weekend as well. And so hopefully soon that will be out to talk all about the joys of baby step 0. Many, many things in there. Truth Teller 23413, pay off mortgage or buy an investment property. Um, are you familiar with Mr. Ramsey? Are you sure you know about Mr. Ramsey? He is the no debt guy, if you didn't know. So, do you think you should buy an investment property by debt leveraging your house? Do you think you should do that by continuing to have that mortgage on it? Do you think you should do that? The answer is nay. No dots on it, so this is it. I have enough money to either pay off my mortgage, period, done, done. There's no either. There's no either. There's nothing you would do else with that money unless it was a previous baby steps, and I don't see buy an investment property anywhere here. Don't see that. That already has a tenant in it and would generate income. Which one should I do? You pay off your mortgage, and then you don't have to pay the interest on the mortgage. Currently in 30s. To add to this, I can probably make enough money in the next 2 or 3 years to get another investment property or pay off my mortgage again. So we're not going to be doing mortgage paid off, mortgage paid off, mortgage paid off, mortgage paid off. We're not going to be doing that crap. You don't do mortgages on investment property. Any business expenses are done in cash. If you can't afford it in cash, then you do not do that particular investment. You're doing it wrong. You're thinking about it wrong. I mean, and this though, this obviously probably done a lot. People do that a lot. Should they do it? Is it Dave's advice to do it? No, but I'm sure they do. I'm sure that's all over the TikTok about, oh, you got a low interest rate on the mortgage. You just keep that thing around forever and just buy an investment property also on a mortgage. You know, I'm sure that's on the TikTok all over there. Yeah, oh, debt leverage, arbitrage. And the answer is no. That would not be Mr. Ramsey's advice. Um, let's see what CP says about his. Finished a blankie. Oh, CP converting to Fahrenheit for me. Thank you so much, sir. Negative 30 Fahrenheit. Yeah, so I told you You know, no matter how cold it is here. But I mean, I've been fortunate because it did like drop into for a very short time though. It did drop to 8 degrees last week. And so after it did that, then the next day it was like 20. That was like, oh man, it's warm out here. So it's all about how you think about it. Sid has no pregnancy symptoms, which everyone with severe morning sickness envies me for, but that creates its own anxiety indeed. Starting to get a bump, but hopefully you can get away with keeping it secret a little while longer at work. Ain't nobody business. You just tell them you've been having a lot of pizza and pliables. CP says, I think most just want someone to confirm their purchase of the rental. They know Dave's answer, yeah, but want someone to say, go for it. Yeah, because they're going to anyway. Yep. Yeah, very likely. I am ROB. I am Roby. Robbie, maybe. I have 2 loans, a home and a car. Okay, both of those are bad. Even the one for the mortgage is not good debt. People think that too. That's dumb. It is not. All debt is bad. And you need to pay it off as soon as possible. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Happy New Year to all of you. How dare you? That was over the week-long that you're allowed, your week that you're allowed to say Happy New Year, according to Kane Coleman. How dare you? I need help doing things right. How to do the baby steps right. And that would not be have the car loan. $130,000 mortgage for 30 years and dumb. Probably had to get 30 to afford it. I don't know, monthly payment of $779. Depends on how much money they make, I guess. And a $629 car payment. So what you would do is sell the car because you do all this stuff before you get to pay off the mortgage early. So you're paying it. You're paying minimum payments on the mortgage right now, and you keep doing that until you get to baby steps 4, 5, and 6, which are done all at the same time. My loan car is now $10,000. And will be fully paid in approximately 2 years. Yeah. Hey, guess what? I can save you that 2 years by you selling the dumb car and you buying a cheap one in cash. My question is it a good idea to try to pay the car loan in full in 2025 by increasing the minimum payment to $1,000 monthly? Or is it better to increase the minimum payment for the home? No, you wouldn't do the baby steps out of order, and none of this is, I mean, you can pay it in full in 2025. You would be paying extra. All of your extra money does go to whatever baby step you're on, and since you have a car loan, you're on baby step 2. So that's where all the money would go. It's not a you get to choose if you're going to follow Dave's advice. So yeah, so you would not do that. The car may have a higher interest rate anyway, which is what some people that base their financial decisions only on what the calculator says. So yeah, I can save you a year now if you're going to think about it that way. Well, I can save you a year or 2 even by you selling the car and getting a beater instead. Cheap used car in cash. And then you have lowered your debt amount by $10,000 and you've added $629 to your extra money per month. How about that? And that's how you do that instead of thinking whatever is going through your mind to do that. And I always say this, I don't know. I mean, I know I am, being a Ramsey certified financial coach and having listened to him at least off and on since the 90s and especially a lot lately in the past 3 months or so, every day, pretty much every show day. I think I missed one in the past 3 months. But so I'm ingrained in it, but I still don't see how you can read the baby steps and think, oh, I need to keep the car around and pay extra on the house instead and just pay minimum on the car. So I don't know how you can read the baby steps. Maybe the person didn't. Maybe the person, it's an alien arrived here from whatever planet, and then just immediately got into this situation with the home and the car, and then Googled pay off home or car, and Ramsey came up, and one of the top results was the subreddit, maybe. And so, has no idea. But otherwise, it's, again, I don't know. I don't know how these people think. I don't know how they think. And that's the problem. They are overthinking it. And you don't need to do that, because you see, the Ramsey advice is so simple that it's easy. Okay, so you don't need to overthink it at all. You just follow the steps. Mr. Ramsey has done all the thinking for you. There's nothing you need to decide, because it's all put out for you. The only things you need to decide is the balance, but you already have a home, so that doesn't apply to you, though. The balance between, once you get to step 3B, which would be a down payment, which you already have a house, so it doesn't affect you, but the balance between 3B down payment and baby step 4 investing, that is a choice that's up to you. In the investing amount can even be $0 for up to 2 years, while you save a higher down payment faster. And the other thing that you get to decide all on your own is whether you want to help kids in college or not. And if you don't have any, you just skip step 5 until you have some. So those are the only things that you get to decide. The other ones, anything you're thinking about, you don't need to, because you're considering options that aren't Dave's advice. And so if you want to do that, you can do that for sure. It's your life and your money, but that's not the Ramsey advice. On a surface interval. On a surface interval. All right. Trying to budget with variable expenses. Right? New to the community. I've got my 1K and trying to build a budget. Okay. Great. Building a budget, another thing. Starting budgeting is another thing that's part of Baby Step 0. We've got my regular expenses gain. But how do people account for variable expenses? For example, I'm in SoCal. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're in SoCal. And my gas, I don't think the Palisades are there, are they? It's not in Southern California, is it? I don't know geography. And my gas bill for heating the house in the winter months is higher than the summer. So how you would do that, you have to revisit the budget at least every month. And so what you would do is just change that number for the first winter month. Also, in California, how cold is it getting? Put on a sweater. They like to have the t-shirts on all year round. How about a long sleeve? Secondly, my electric bill for cooling my house in the summer is through the roof. How would you folks budget for that? Well, here's what also you can do. You can put the most it would be and dedicate that to paying the utilities. Like the most it would be for gas and the most it would be for electric, and budget that amount. But then when you don't spend that amount, that's your extra. That's your snowball. So that goes to whatever is next on your debt list, or whatever baby step you're on would be applied to that. Do you all use something like confidence intervals? Okay, that's above my pay grade. To save enough for the months and where the bills are higher than normal. If you do, what's a comfortable confidence interval? You 25%. Yeah, see, don't do that. Again, just put what it would be maximum. So I don't know if you know how life works, but you can have in your budget, you can have an amount that should be paid for something, and then you can pay less for that and then have extra money. So I don't know why you wouldn't go there, and instead you would go straight to confidence interval, which I've not heard of. Have you heard of that, Sid? And I mean, it's probably something that Excel can do, probably, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I had not heard of that. On a surface interval is the name there, so they're all about that. So again, overthinking it. And so yeah, just budget for the most it would be and do that. Or you can put a little bit away each month and figure out what you need. We don't know what you need to, we don't know the amount you would need. We don't know what the percentage is of it that you would need to put away every non-summer month. So are you talking about like 6 months that are fine, and then 3 months winter and 3 months summer, and then fall and spring are fine and they're lower? So I mean, you can use, if you can talk about confidence interval, you can figure that out too, I am sure. If not, there's a problem. Levelized billing is also an option, probably. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Where it's the same amount, and so there they charge you if you're in like the fall or spring when it's going to be lower. They could charge you like $10 more each month, that kind of thing, or $20 more each month, depending on how much they need to have in basically like escrow in order to pay for to level it out so that your payment at the time will be about the same as you always pay. Yeah, good job, Sid. Sid knows all about that stuff. Confidence interval is like a Hill and Valley fund for that bill. All right, gotcha. Disgruntled engineer. Disgruntled engineer. Engineers generally make pretty good money. Why would you be disgruntled? Don't be disgruntled. Baby step 4, 15% investment. So this person has read the baby steps, or at least heard the baby step correctly. That's what it is, 15% of gross. And so, period. So what's the question about it? Okay, it's been a long fight to get to this point, but I finally made it. The baby step 4, congratulations. Here's my latest issue, a good one to have. My wife and I work for the Department of Defense and are eligible to use the TSP with 5% matched by the government. Okay. I also serve in the National Guard and also receiving VA disability compensation. With these income sources, we should be investing around $34,000. As of 2025, the TSP limit, Roth and traditional, is 23.5, right? And the Roth IRA limit is $7,000 a year. Correct. Assuming I'm meeting these numbers, which I'm still working on, where should the additional money be invested? I thought about creating an account and putting money into it to start saving for an investment. Well, you don't need to do that. You can just do the investment now, unless it's going to be for an investment property, but you wouldn't do that anyway either. It would depend on if you had step 5 to do and if you have step 6 to do. If you're paying off a house still, you would be putting extra money to those before you would be doing something like saving for an investment beyond the 15%. But if it's part of your 15% and you run out of room, then that's when you would look for alternatives such as the high yield savings account, I mean, not health savings account, excuse me, HSA account, and that is tax advantaged. And the way you do that is you can load up that, and then when you have a medical thing, you just pay that out of cash, and the money stays in, and the investment keeps happening. But if you never touch it, of course, well, you still can put money into it up to what you're spending anyway. On actually up to a certain amount a year. I don't know what that is off the top of my head though. But yeah, otherwise, and if you can't do that, then you would just open a brokerage account where you would have it's not a retirement account. You wouldn't have any penalties on it for taking out any time. You'd also need one of those for a bridge account, perhaps, if you were going to retire before your retirement age, and then you would need money to live off of, and that would be just in like a regular brokerage account as well. Very good though. Not trying to invest the more than 50. Well, sort of, to start saving for an investment, and so you don't do that. Like you wouldn't do that. You would not, again, unless you're trying to buy a house cash, then you would save for it. But you have to be on baby step 7 to do that. Otherwise, that's a no. It's to take care of all the baby steps first, and then you do that later when you're on step 7. Otherwise, you don't save up a lump sum to invest in the market. You just put it in the market immediately as you have each little bit, because you make more money that way. And same thing with paying things off. You don't save up a lump sum and then make a payment, because you save more on the interest if you get that balance down faster. Do this episode of the Ramsey Show After Show brought to you by Crinkly Water Bottle. They've been with us since the beginning. Waiting from Do Guarantee 103. Sounds like a radio station. Do Guarantee 103. Waiting to be on the Ramsey Show. I wonder if they carry the Ramsey Show. Waiting to be on the Ramsey Show. Any suggestions? I have my questions, but are there tips for maximizing my time with them? Okay, thank you. Oh, update. They gave me some really great advice. Okay, I guess he got through then. Okay, or she. Mustache there. So, no, that's just big lips, isn't it? I think it is. And then some generic. See, this is why I said you can't change your avatar on the YouTube, and because it's about that size right there, and so it's hard to see. I'm also not looking at it on my phone like that, where I would see it better. Would. My goodness, how dare I? Yeah, I was raised in Virginia. Anyway, I have my but where were we at? Oh, they gave us some really good advice and then some generic, not applicable advice at the end. Okay, but they were short on time, so all right. And so the maximizing the time with them, to make it an entertaining radio call, you can't just ask, should I do the baby steps in order, or am I an exception because of X? So if you ask that, that's pretty boring. And then they would probably ask you follow-up questions anyway, if you even got that far on there. But you want to give some color to the story, but also not tell your life story to there. Just basically maybe a couple things about what caused the problem, which is usually you being in debt. And normally the normal reason for that is you were dumb, or or you had some kind of emergency as well. That'll happen as well. But a lot of times it's because you were dumb as crap, and that's my excuse. Um, and so to have that, to maximize the time with them, and like you said, you never know what they're gonna say either. They had really good advice for you said, and then some generic, not applicable advice. Well, maybe you didn't think it was applicable, but maybe they did. And so, on just a call like that, it's not like a one-on-one situation where it's a back and forth type of thing. Where you, like, if you were meeting with a financial coach, it's not like that. So, I would just say, have some key tips that paint the picture a little bit better. Some key points that do that, but you don't have to say, all different kind of things. Like there was one guy on there one time that 3 times said something, and then said, but that's neither here nor there. And he was right. So why say it? Wasting time. But that just happens. And, it could be nervous. People get nervous on there. I get that as well. Don't be the last caller in an hour. That much is certain. If you hear the music, you're about to be done. You're about to be gone. No one is immune to a hard radio out for commercials. Not even Mr. Ramsey himself. Dab sick. What would you do? Hopefully Dab doesn't act like a baby when he or she is sick. What would you do? And then what would Dave do? That's 2 different things a lot of times. For me, it's not really, but, on the subreddit, you're going to get both things. You're going to get what people would do, and you're going to get financial bro advice, TikTok advice on here sometimes. Not on this show, but sometimes in the comments you would. 30 comments. But see, I got both. The what would you do and what would Dave do? So make up your mind. Recently discovered the baby steps. Good. Hope you read them all. So I'm all over the place. You should be on the baby step that you're on and not looking ahead. Everybody loves to look ahead and try to figure out their whole life. They want to start planning, baby step 7 right now, and they haven't even gotten step 1 done yet. If you got extra time to overthink all that stuff, do work and make money or figure out how you can not spend as much. But my house will be paid off in 3 years, possibly 2 at this rate. If that's fine, if that's going to happen with minimum payments while you are doing the earlier baby steps, then you would do that. You do not refinance a mortgage that's going to be paid off in 3 years. And generally, when you do the baby steps, all money stuff happens faster than you think it will if you keep to it. So you do not refinance. You do not do that and start the baby steps. Or since I'm so close, you don't refinance at all. Why would you refinance? It's not free to refinance, so you're putting yourself more in debt to refinance. I don't know why you would refinance. Start the baby steps, or since I'm close to paying off, stick with it. So you can still do that and do minimum payments. If you're already paying extra to the house, then you wouldn't do that, and you would be putting that extra to baby steps 2, 3, 4, and 5. I asked because my finances only allow to pay my mortgage with a tiny bit left over. Okay. Well, you need to work on your finances then. Either make more money or spend less, or both in the perfect world. No car payments. Fabulous. I barely pay off my credit cards each month, but still do. I can't budget for emergency fund, etc. Okay, well, first of all, you stop using credit cards at all. You don't use it and pay it off every month. We don't do rewards points and stuff like that. You can get in too much trouble from credit cards, because especially people, you are their target audience, my friend. You are their target audience, because guess what? I barely pay off my credit cards each month. Yeah, so guess what? That means you have one little thing go wrong, and then you can't pay it off that month. And then maybe they get to, then you get charged interest on it. And so suddenly you're little, oh, I'm beating the credit card companies by getting the rewards because I pay it off each month. If you only have time left over, you're not doing that every month. So you stop using them. Stop using them. If you can't live your life without putting something on a credit card, then you don't buy it. Then you have some cutting to do again, or making more money. So I would get the more information I would get from this person. I would ask to see the budget and see what's going on there. And so if we've got a high cable bill, a high phone bill, any of that kind of stuff is gonna be cut out. Eating out, that's all gonna be cut out. We're not doing that and continuing to use credit cards. We're not gonna do that. That's a nay. So, the credit cards and the refinancing, just trying to free up extra money so you can so you can spend more. And so that's a no on the Ramsey advice. So having recently discovered them, so you are all over the place with your thinking about it. But that's the way, you can make it better. You for certain can make it better, but you probably won't be able to buy the same stuff and spend the same that you're doing right now. Some stuff will have to be cut out. Oh, seriously, not many people are getting a better rate these days. Oh, right, yeah, to refinance, right? It wouldn't be, almost certainly, would not be. Well, I mean, unless it's a 30-year mortgage and it was 28 years ago, maybe, but probably not. Paycheck to paycheck on credit cards is risky. Absolutely. And that's what I said. That's the target audience. This person is how they still make plenty of money, where they're not bothered by people that think they're taking advantage of them. You're not. They are still making billions and billions of dollars, and they're still getting you to use their product for meager rewards. But yeah, and so this person is trying to do that, but is really close to not being able to pay it off. So you have to have one emergency come up, or one thing where you I really want to do this. I really want to go out to this fancy restaurant and you talk yourself into it and you do it. And then you can't pay it off at the end of the month. Guess what? Hello, interest. And does that make your life better? No, it does not. I'll give you the answer. Caleb pointed out to a guest today that carrying a balance at 30% for the 2% point or cashback or whatever meant he's just paying 28%. That's true. It's not worth it since that much is certain. Auspicious 93. We can go on together with auspicious mind. Larry Burkett, Radio Archive. That's an older song, and Larry Burkett is an older. I don't think he's with us anymore. I think he has passed, but he's one of the guys I think that was doing the financial advice. I think already when Dave went bankrupt already. So he was doing it before Dave. So he was somebody that Dave looked up to. I'm curious, does anyone have recordings or know where I can find episodes of Larry Burkett's Money Matters radio program? I'm writing a paper on Burkett and would love access his show. You can check the YouTube. You can check like the Spotify, something like that. Do a Google search. Hopefully, if you're writing a paper, you already did the Google search and came up with nothing. So yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't know if they have anything like that. Find out what media company owned his or distributed his show, and maybe they have something that can be accessed on the internet. But that's all I got for you. especially in hearing from callers how people describe their problems, etc. I know that the show ran before there were easy ways to save things digitally. Yep, even if you have physical media like cassettes, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I don't have any of that. Somebody might though. Like check eBay. Check eBay, put Larry Burkett on there. Maybe somebody has cassettes or something. I am also wondering if anyone has leads for radio stations that may have saved recordings. Again, I don't know. Somebody that reads this may. I don't. I've already been in touch with Crown and no luck. Okay. Is that just a radio station, or is that like a parent company of radio stations, like our media group that would be distributing the show? No luck. Thanks so much. Yeah, I got another for you, unfortunately, but yeah, that would be interesting to see like how many times, if they say perhaps, with this economy, which everybody blames everything on now, or that kind of thing, as to how the calls are generally go now, to see how they would go back then. I mean, even listening to Dave's would be interesting. Maybe you can find some of those. Dave's show when he first started was called The Money Game, and maybe you can find that. Conquistador, okay, 69. Alrighty, frat boy humor. To sell or not to sell, help a financial idiot out. Okay, I will. That out was homage to CP. If there's Doctor Who from the 1960s on the internet, I can promise they can find the Larry Burkett recordings. Yeah, you just might have to think out of the box there a little more than they are. First and foremost, I'm not a pro in financials. LOL. Well, I could have told you that from I judge the book by its username. But right now, my wife and I, or at least she did my wife and I, instead of saying me and my wife. So props on that. Are in a weird situation, having asked multiple people on what to do. You don't need on there. Having asked multiple people what to do, and always get different answers, so I thought I'd ask a bunch of non-biased strangers. People just hear like phrases like that and don't know, have no idea, and just guess at it. Hear it wrong or something. Back in November 2023, my father sold us his house for $125,000. It never feels right when I'm doing it with the left hand. $125,000 in one of the most expensive towns in South Dakota. If you're from South Dakota, it's Hill City. I'm not from there, but even though I'm not from there, it's still Hill City. Essentially a mountain, high-end retirement town. We're talking about money, apparently. It made some money since then. Even since 2023, it's probably gone up. The median house cost here is about $450,000, and I think that's low. Okay. Anyways, my father didn't take care of the house. Boop, boop, boo-doo. It needed a ton of work and still does. He sold it to us cheap, thinking we would just turn and resell it for more and make a slight profit. That is what you should have done already, and you should probably still do now. Anyways, again with the anyways, we stayed and put in about $20,000 in repairs. Shouldn't have done that to make that livable. I mean, if you can slowly fix it up over time, and then you would have a great house. But if you were just trying to make money off of it, it depends on what your situation is. Like what baby step you're on. So let's see. It's only a lot of work. Anyway, after all the work, it appraised for about $300,000. So that's a nice $175,000 in equity. It is. Okay. So right now our situation is second child, October 25th. 4. Congratulations. Combined gross income about $100,000. Our current mortgage is $1,400. Property tax here is insane. Okay. Let me ask you this. What mortgage? You got a mortgage for that house? You had to get a mortgage to buy the house from your father. Is that it? Or is this a different house? 2 cars with combined balance of 18 left on them. Sell at least the one that has the most on it, if not both cars. A few thousand in medical and credit card debt, question mark. That's bad, in case you were asking a question. We don't care for the house or the location. Okay, sell it immediately. Sell it immediately, then you're out of debt. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. I'm not saying we are living paycheck to paycheck, but we are considering selling the house, paying off all our debts. Yeah, do that. Do that. Now we can keep these dumb cars. If you want. Maybe putting a down payment on a nicer home. Yeah, you could do that. Don't buy too much house. Or renting for a couple years debt free. You could do that while having a healthy savings account. You could do that. Wouldn't recommend you having extra saving above the emergency fund. You should apply that money to whatever baby steps have to be done still. I feel like for me, if this is not our forever home, that now is the time to capitalize on the market. Well, you never know. It could go up gangbusters in the next couple years. It could also stay the same. It could also go down. We don't know. So if you don't want to live there anymore, that's good enough for me for you to get out of it. Especially if you want to keep the dumb cars. Now, we can't sell the cars. By the way, I commute 30 miles to work. Yes, you can. You can drive a different car that you pay for in cash to work 30 miles. Yes, you can. See, see, the thing that holds most people back is the limitations they put on themselves. And so that's not a law that you can't sell the cars, BT dubs. That's just something that you are deciding for yourself, and that's fine. But why are you asking then? We don't really know because the market here is so crazy. We thought about renting, but the house has so many more issues. We don't believe it's rentable. Yeah, you're not keeping it to rent it out. If you're done with it, sell it. Do we sell and rent? Yes, until you figure out what you do. I don't think you know what you want to do yet. I wouldn't keep it. I would sell it. Do we sell and down payment on another home? No, I wouldn't do that. You don't like the area either. So unless you're going to put that in a different area. So I would what I would do is sell it and rent at least a year and figure out what you want to do with it. And you apply that to baby steps 1, 2, and 3 first. The extra money that you would have, and so you would be out of debt. You would have a full emergency fund, and you start investing, and then you can put the rest in a high yield savings account for a down payment once the year is up. If you decide you want to live there, or you find wherever you do want to live, and you can do that. Oh, what time is it? Oh, 7:04. Time flies when you are doing the Ramsey Show after show. Picture drive 5609. 529 are dead. Okay, so you see, the problem here is that this question in the title is answered by the baby steps. 529 are dead. Hey, look. Say for Kid College is step 5. That's what 529 plan is. That's a state educational savings plan, investment plan. And so that's part of step 5, my friend. And debt, let's look where that is. That's on step 2. Unless it's the house, and then that's all three at the same time, but they should be addressed in that order. So that's still not gonna go to 5 unless, well, if you got the full emergency fund and started investing 15% of your gross income out of each check, then you could put the rest to 5 and 6 in that priority order. Or if you don't have kids, you just skip 5 and then you'd be paying off the mortgage there. So, but you have credit card debt. So guess what? That's a step 2. So why do you even have to ask this question? I don't understand. Did you not even look at the baby steps? Or again, it's somebody looking at the baby steps and reading the baby steps. Step 1, save $1,000 fast as possible. Pay off debts from smallest to largest is step 2. Let's see, 520. But wait, saving kid college has to be on here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's step 5. Okay. And then they just don't think that they think you do all of them at the same time or whatever order you want to do them in. I don't understand people. I would love to. I haven't, funnily enough, I've not had an in-person consultation or video conferencing, a couple in person, but video conferencing, mostly. Consultation with someone where they misinterpreted the baby steps to like this kind of degree. There's some other things like because baby step 0 is not there and because baby step 3B is not there, that kind of thing. There has been some of that, but not to this level where they didn't understand what order to do things in. Let's see. 40,000 credit card debt. I'm going to be sending my oldest to college 1.5 years. Okay. The fact that it's in 1.5 years, that's tough crap. Sorry about that. You were dumb by having $40,000 and not paying it off by now. That was dumb as crap. And so guess what? The oldest is going to have to do some working. That's how you pay for college too. Work, apply for lots of scholarships and grants, and there you go. But you are not putting a penny, not a penny to, a couple bucks at Christmas time for a Christmas present maybe that you can give them in cash for college, maybe, if you want to do that. But other than that, all your extras going to baby step 2. This is how things work. This is the Ramsey advice. And, most people won't take it. So if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Let's finish, shall we? 1.5 years. I've been focusing on paying down the debt. It's only to 40,000, still got 40,000 to go. However, with this step coming up, your time frame when the kid is going to college, that doesn't affect the baby steps. That doesn't change how this works. So that's some people's problems is they think life revolves around them. They think the Ramsey advice revolves around them. It doesn't. Baby steps are the baby steps, and you do that in order. It doesn't matter how quickly your kid's going to college. Sorry about that. You didn't start it early enough. You did it wrong. You were dumb too long. I was dumb way too long myself. So that's why I don't mind calling it out. However, with this step coming up, and again, that's the step of the oldest kid going to college, fine, but that has nothing to do with baby step 5 and you wanting to do baby step 5, because that's a no. A no. Very nasally, nay. And you gotta, for me to do that, nay, you gotta like pull your top jaw back and push the bottom one out to do that, I think. Nay. I gotta hold my face funny to make that sound. Makes me wonder if I should start at 529 for my 9-year-old. So, I see, for the 9-year-old. Okay, so I'm in better position for her. Or if I should continue with the focus on paying off the credit cards. Hey, how about you do the baby steps and you do step 2 And then once you get to doing baby step 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, that's when you would do that. How about that? How about we do that? And as far as that part, because I thought I was talking about for the oldest kid, but as far as that part, I can't say anything. Can't say anything because it doesn't say anywhere on here steps 1, 2, and 3, one at a time without even thinking about the other steps. And then 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, only after steps 1, 2, and 3 are completely done. It doesn't say that anywhere on here. So, and I don't know if there's anywhere Ramsey on the website at all where it says to do it that way. I don't know. I'll have to check for that to see if there is. But it's definitely not on the list, which is what most people would see. And it's even, they even have to find out what step you're on. I mean, maybe it's under here. Let's see. That's not a link. Let's see if it says it on here. Yeah, I didn't even know this was down here. Or if I saw it before, I didn't remember it. Let's see. So there we go. Yeah, see, it doesn't tell you to go ahead and do other steps past it. And how can you be attacking this with a vengeance and also be doing the rest of the baby steps yourself? That would seem to be logical, but let's see. Just taking a look. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say 1, 2, 3, one at a time, and then 4, 5, and 6. They could put like a block around it with one color on, or like 3 different colors maybe, and then a block around 4, 5, and 6 with one color behind it. Maybe that would be cool. I bet that's probably been suggested, or somebody probably thought of that already. Just a thought. Because a lot of people do get confused by that and try to do all the baby steps at the same time. Tahiki Ohono. Baby step 2 storm mode. Okay. What to do with upcoming immigration storm? Is there going to be an immigration storm? Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. So baby step 2. Let's see what they do. My husband and I have pretty unique life circumstances. Everybody thinks they do. But we're also in debt, which is not so uncommon. That much is certain. We've been in a long distance relationship for 8 years and got married last year. Husband Mexican American, and I am British. The bloody quid. We decided to apply for me to move to the U.S. However, the process takes about 2 years. Can you not stay here, like extended visa or something like that? I do not know how it all works, but okay. 2 years, all right. So we decided I would get the spousal visa to move to Mexico since he already lives in a border city in the U.S. Okay. We don't allow spousal visas to let you move to the U.S. To have my visa for the U.S. approved, we will need to fly to London for the interview, and of course to pay more visa-related fees. Of course, we have $5,472 in savings, which is just enough for all the fees and total cost for travel for my husband and I. Okay. And that time it should be for me and my husband. When it ends the sentence, it's for me and my husband, and not my husband and I. But we don't know. Maybe it's different in the bloody UK. But we don't know exactly when this will happen. We could move into the next stage with the visa tomorrow for all I know. Okay. but most likely it will be February. Then the stages after that can be 2 more months or 8 more months till it solicits the international trip. This uncertainty, like they would say there, they don't like to pronounce the letter T there. The uncertainty gives us difficulty planning. That's fun. I would use up the savings. I would use up he savings because they don't say the D, the T, in a heartbeat if we had a hard and fast timeline. We wouldn't want to risk poisoning my immigration to the United States over this. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness, the cold hard numbers. Okay, babe. What's the I know Dave talks about? I know Dave talks about the realistic storm that is happening being separate to the possibilities. Exactly. So, but what to realistically prepare for is an interesting question. All right. So you are married, got married last year. So I would say you want to have X amount of money to be able to do that. You said that money you have in savings now is just enough for all the fees and total cost of travel. So then I would keep that there if you don't know. Now, if you know it's going to be at least 3 months and you can pay off extra on debt now if you have it, or apply it to another baby step now, and you could still save that up even like after you paid off all your debt, that kind of thing. If you could still save it up in enough time, at the earliest it could be, then you can use some of it. If not, I'm keeping that there to make sure you guys can live in the same place. Because, I mean, he's on border city, and are you on a border city too? So it's not, I mean, if it's 15 minutes to drive to see him, then why not? It just depends on what kind of time you are apart there, as far as how fast that travel could be. And like how many like days at one time you can stay there, that kind of thing. But that's of course if she got a job in Mexico, then you got to work that job obviously too, so you don't have unlimited free time to just spend in the United States. Wouldn't want to risk postponing immigration to. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I mean, I would consider that a storm moment for sure. Some people wouldn't. Yeah, does this solicit a storm? Some people might say no, but I'm going to let you have this one. Edit, thank you for the guidance. Unanimous, we should enter storm mode. Okay, great. I'll be patient with paying up this debt. Right. So, so you just need to save that much. And I mean, I would just keep that. I wouldn't even have that much over the emergency fund. I would have including the emergency fund for $1,000 added to that. So if that is the well, I mean, that's up to you too. I mean, it's just $1,000, so that's up to you. But you could just go ahead and apply the extra $1,000 to that, and then just build up that over the time, if you think you'll have time. If you don't think, if you're not 100% sure you would have the money right when you need it, then certainly keep it all right there. But then anything now going forward, you can just stack up cash if you want to make sure you have extra to take care of all of this. But if you are 100% sure that that's going to be enough, then you already have that, and so you're ready for that, and so you're not in a storm anymore. You've weathered the storm, and you're ready for the tornado to come and hit, and then you need to just start the baby steps again at that point. So, good question. And if Dave would consider that? I think Dave would probably consider that priority to do and worthy of storm mode. Think. Oh, there's a storm. Sid says it's a planned expense with an unplanned date. Like Sid's school, it was most important to cash flow everything, even if it meant things weren't paid off ASAP. Right. Right. And especially it's not, you don't need to be on storm mode if you already have enough to take care of the storm thing. If you already have enough, then you don't need to do that. So good point. Share 5923 question on emergency fund. I've got an answer. Does Dave recommend having $1,000 emergency fund and a 3-month emergency fund, or just the $1,000 one until you can get to the 3-month one? The answer is B, the just $1,000 one until you can get to the 3-month one. Okay, so here's where the Reddit version, the Dave Ramsey subreddit version of the baby steps is actually better than the Ramsey version of it, because here it just says save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Let's see if it says it in the extended remix version. Take that money you were throwing in your debt and build a fundament. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it doesn't say it there. It doesn't explicitly say it there at all. But on Z on the Ramsey baby step 3, it says grow your $1,000 savings into 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So there it goes. The answer is right there in that baby step. And so a lot of people do that, and a lot of people try to do them both at the same time, or they try to get the $1,000 first, and then they start paying off debt, but they also start saving extra too to try to grow it up, because for some reason they think they need to do all the steps at the same time. It's a 2-hour, ladies and gentlemen. Ramsey Show After Show. Fun times. ECAEP 298. Baby step 7, build wealth and give. That's exactly what it is. You win. What's the question? What's the question? I feel like, for me, since we're in Canada, which I saw down lower there, I feel like for me, there isn't as much material on this step. Well, because you can build wealth however you want to build it, and you give away a lot of it is the idea. So, and you do that however you choose. You get to, I often tell people, once you get to baby step 4, by getting to baby step 4, you've earned the right to put stuff in your budget like expensive vacations. You can do that. I of course say, always consider, do I want to take an expensive vacation, or could I maybe take no vacation, or maybe a less expensive vacation, because then I could do X, like pay off the house faster, that kind of thing. So you always consider that, but you can still put that in your budget and have a sinking fund for it, if so. But basically, it's up to the beholder. And generally, the building wealth way for the average person is just going to be continue investing. And once you're already investing the max in retirement accounts, then you would just do brokerage accounts then that aren't retirement accounts. What might next steps be within this step? Most especially regarding building wealth. Okay, again, it's mostly for the average person, it's just going to be continuing to investing more than 15%. We love generosity and have a lot of that stuff dreamt up. Okay, great, and planned out. But love the practical steps and insight as to how you've built wealth. I know there are many ventures, but love to crowdsource and know how it's gone for you. Ups and downs, learning curves, etc. We're in Canada, but do share, albeit you might be elsewhere. Thanks in advance. Appreciate it every month. Yeah, I'm not going to do no investing in some kind of crowdsource thing to try to build wealth. I mean, if you want to start a company, you go right ahead. But hey, or if you want to be a landlord, you go right ahead and save up the cash to buy in cash, to buy a property in cash, and then you rent it out. If you want to be a landlord, that's fine as well. But you see, the mutual funds do not call you at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's a problem. The house, or even if they don't call you, you are paying somebody to take that call, a management company, to basically run that rental for you if you're not doing it yourself. So either way, either you're getting the call or they're getting the call, and you're losing money probably because of the reason that they're calling, like a broken roof or something. You're losing money there, and you making, you clearing $200 to $400 a month in profit on that is why you don't get a mortgage on it. But even if you don't have a mortgage on it, even if you paid for it in cash, you're $200 to $400 a month, and then you got to put a new roof on it. You're not making any money that year, my friend. So that's a no for me, dog. But if you want to do that, knock yourself out. But mutual funds do not call you with problems like that. And so over the long term, they're still going to make money. So that is going to be what I would recommend for that. But I mean, you can try to start up any business you want to. I'm not giving my money to anybody else to do anything with, though. At all. That's your giving part, where you're doing that. And you're giving that. You say you love generosity, and a lot of this stuff dreamt up, and great. Okay, so do all that and planned out even. Okay, a little bit early to do that if you're not on baby step 7. Maybe. Or at least on 4, 5, and 6. But that's fine that it's already dreamt up and planned out. But as far as the building wealth, for most people, it's just going to be investing in mutual funds. We'll leave it there. Once more, this is the right tab. YouTube.com/CoachSteveMoney is where you're watching this. And if you just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist, you'll see the Ramsey Show Aftershow playlist, and the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and the music playlist that has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Listen to those, please. And I am Coach Steve Money once again, and I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you, yes, you right there, even if you're from Canada, can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. Links in the ticker down below, also in the video description as well. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com about anything regarding coaching or anything about my YouTube channel, donations, paypal.me/Coach Steve Money, alternatively Cash App, $Coach Steve Money. Yeah, I've caught up. Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams until further notice. The Ramsey Show Aftershow show, Monday through Friday, right after the Ramsey Show signs off for the YouTube at 5:25, approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Like is that thumb. If you don't have to smash it. You can just graze over it with your mouse and just lightly click it. You don't have to smash. If you want to smash it, smash. Knock yourself out. Much appreciated. Like and comment is the last one to say. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching this very special 2-hour Ramsey Show After Show. I remember the name of it. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Yep, drop the box again.